So what I'd like to remind you of first is your assignment that you did the last time that you had a lesson with me where we talked about how to do a descriptive outline. So you have a chart that looks like this that you should have completed, where first you divided the essay into rooms or chunks. Then you said what is the function of each section and what does each section say. So in the does section, you're basically trying to determine why is the author including it. What is his or her purpose? In the says section, you're putting basically the evidence of how they prove their purpose or how they try to meet that function for those set of paragraphs. Alright, so this you should have completed already. So I'm going to now review this with you by taking a look here. So these first two were already done as an example for you. So I want you to see first how I divided the paragraphs. So we have here, I chunked paragraphs 6 through 8 together, paragraphs 9 and 10 together, paragraph 11 by itself, paragraphs 12 and 13 chunked together, paragraph 14 alone, 15 and 16 together, and 17 by itself. So if you could take a moment and check your chart and see if your chunks match my chunks. It's okay if your chunks do not match mine, as long as you are able to explain how they function within the essay and what their purpose is. So I'm going to show you how I did this so that you will be able to take this information and transfer it to the Hooked on a Myth article that you just finished reading. Alright, so the first two were already done for you on the original document, so we don't need to go over those again. So let's just go here to paragraphs 6 through 8. So this is where Rifkin is talking about the intelligence of animals. So his general purpose in these three paragraphs is to demonstrate the intelligence of animals. So I'm repeating that on purpose because notice that demonstrate is one of those verbs for analysis that you would use when you're trying to show an author's purpose. Alright, so then here you're going to talk about what are the examples that he provides in order to try to prove this idea that animals are intelligent. So we know he gives the example of Coco the gorilla, how she knew sign language and had a high IQ, relatively close to a human's, by the way. And then also gives examples from the crow experiment where Betty was able to bend the hook in order to get food 9 out of 10 times. So also Rifkin was using this as an opportunity to throw some logos in there. Alright, then moving on to paragraphs 9 and 10, we have our verb for analysis, offers. Rifkin offers examples to show animals are self-aware, and then he just provides the one example as evidence of the orangutan who checks himself in the mirror to adjust his sunglasses. Alright, then we have paragraph 11. He talks about, and he also offers another example, so there's another verb for analysis. It would be okay to repeat it if he is using the same function more than one time in an essay. But this time he's trying to show that animals understand mortality, which means death. And he provides the example in the says column of elephants mourn their kin for days. Alright, then we move on to paragraphs 12 and 13. So here we have he proposes animals and humans have similar brains. So now he's offering his own opinion. I could say proposes opinion or offers his own opinion or gives opinion even, whatever it is that the function is in the paragraph. All right, and then here my example, rats release dopamine when playing just like humans do. Okay, and then next he argues. So now he's starting to try to get a little more argumentative in this piece. He's making an argument that animals can learn, and for that he provides the example of geese teaching their goslings migration routes. The next two paragraphs, he's asking rhetorical questions. So this is the function. He's questioning in order to emphasize the animal research that he has presented. So then this is when he brings up, now that we can understand that animals are very similar to humans, what does that mean when it comes to things like fox hunting, bullfighting, fur coats, and wild lions in cages? And then the last paragraph would function as the conclusion. So here's where he summarizes his main points and presents a call to action. So that's the function of that last paragraph. And then how does he do it? What does he actually say? Humans need to have empathy for animals since we are so similar to them. Then you've already completed these 4 questions and you have submitted those to your teacher at this point. So now that you see how to complete a descriptive outline, now that we have reviewed how to do it, you can go to the one that is in the slide presentation that has this lesson on it, and you will see that there is a Brothwaite's Hooked on a Myth descriptive outline chart, and it looks very much the same as the one that you just did, except this time, of course, you will fill it in for the Hooked on a Myth piece. So remember, at this point, you're not necessarily analyzing, you're just basically saying what is the author doing in the text. What is the function of each section, and how does she go about proving her points? And that's what I have for you today to review. Make sure that you check with your teacher to find out your next steps on this assignment. Have a good day. Hello, today we're going to do a review of a change of heart about animals descriptive outlining. So you actually completed this lesson after doing an Edpuzzle a few activities ago, and so now I'd like to review it before asking you to complete another descriptive outline for Hooked on a Myth, the second text in this unit.